He reduced poverty in years. He challenged foreign control. Then he was eliminated. This is not a coincidence. Across Africa, a pattern repeats itself. A leader rises. He questions foreign dominance. He touches money, land, resources, or sovereignty. Then he is removed violently or quietly. What follows are real leaders, real dates, real countries, and real consequences. In 1983, at just 33 years old, Thomas Sankara took power in what was then called Upper Volta, one of the poorest countries on earth. Within months, he renamed it Burkina Faso, meaning land of upright people. The name itself was a declaration of independence. Sankara rejected the traditional African leadership model built on luxury and dependence. He refused loans from the IMF and World Bank, arguing that debt was a modern form of colonial control. He nationalized land and resources so farmers could own what they worked on. In just a few years, his government vaccinated 2.5 million children against meningitis, measles, and yellow fever, saving countless lives. He slashed government salaries, including his own, and sold off the presidential Mercedes in favor of modest cars. He planted millions of trees to fight desertification and pushed radical reforms for women's rights. So why was he dangerous? Sankara openly called for an aid modern slavery. He urged African nations to collectively refuse debt repayment, warning that paying it would destroy future generations. His speeches inspired people far beyond Burkina Faso. On October 15, 1987, Sankara was assassinated in a coup led by his close ally. Foreign interests were never officially named, but the timing was clear. After his death, Burkina Faso reversed many of his reforms and returned to foreign dependency. His body was buried in an unmarked grave. If Sankara was truly a failure, why was he killed? Next, Patrice Lumumba. In 1960, the Democratic Republic of Congo gained independence from Belgium. Lumumba became its first prime minister. Congo was and still is one of the most resource-rich countries in the world, sitting on vast reserves of uranium, copper, cobalt, and diamonds. Lumumba demanded that Congo's wealth benefit Congolese people, not foreign corporations. He rejected being a puppet of Belgium or any other power. He insisted on true sovereignty, political and economic. Why was he dangerous? Congo's uranium had already been used in U.S. nuclear weapons. Western powers feared losing control over strategic minerals during the Cold War. To them, Lumumba's independence looked like rebellion. Within months, he was overthrown, arrested, and tortured. On January 17, 1961, he was executed. His body was cut apart and dissolved in acid to erase the evidence. Years later, Belgium and the United States admitted their involvement in his removal. Congo fell into decades of dictatorship, war, and instability. Millions died. Foreign companies continued extracting resources. Was Lumumba killed for being incompetent or for being too independent? Then there's Muammar Gaddafi of Libya. When he took power in 1969, Libya was poor despite massive oil reserves. Over 4 decades, he transformed the country. He expelled foreign military bases and used oil wealth to fund free education, free healthcare, and housing programs. Libya achieved one of the highest standards of living in Africa, but Gaddafi went further. He proposed a gold-backed African currency and pushed for a United States of Africa, a continent independent of Western banks. This made him extremely dangerous. A gold-backed currency threatened the dominance of the US dollar and euro. His policies reduced Western oil company control. In 2011, NATO forces intervened. Gaddafi was captured and killed, his death broadcast to the world. After he was gone, Libya collapsed. Rival militias fought for control, slave markets reappeared, and the country went from stability to permanent crisis. If the intervention was about freedom, why did Libya lose everything? The pattern continues. Sylvanus Olympio, Togo's first president, planned to withdraw from a French-controlled currency to achieve true economic independence. In 1963, he was assassinated by soldiers linked to French interests, challenged the currency, faced removal. Cabral, an intellectual revolutionary, led Guinea-Bissau's struggle for independence. He warned against replacing colonial masters with local elites controlled from abroad. He was assassinated in 1973, just months before his country gained freedom. Here is the pattern they don't want you to see. Every one of these leaders challenged foreign economic control. They touched resources, currency, or debt. They tried to build self-sustaining nations. They were labeled dangerous, unstable, or dictators. Then they were removed. After their deaths, poverty increased, foreign influence returned, and instability followed. This brings us to a final difficult question. Was Africa cursed with bad leaders, or punished for choosing itself? Thanks for watching. If this story made you think, subscribe for more content that challenges the official narrative.